the pride of England, the one and only Chantelle Cameron. Here she is. Hello, Chantelle. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much for doing this. I know there's been a lot of media and activity and whatnot leading up to this big fight, so thank you for the time. We really appreciate it. Can I ask you off the bat, I've noticed that you've done a lot of media and Katie hasn't. In fact, in full disclosure, she was supposed to be on the show today, but unfortunately
Yeah.
she canceled. And that's a bit of a bummer, but I appreciate you being here. What do you make of that? When you hear of that, her being very reclusive this week and you being out there and doing what you have to do you take anything away from that?
No, I don't, to be honest. I think we're two completely different people, whereas this is just part of the job, isn't it? And you do this to sell the fight and kind of let people know what you're about as well. So for me, it's just water for ducks back. So it doesn't faze me. Don't really look too much into what Katie's doing, what Katie's saying, what she's thinking, how she's feeling. Doesn't bother me. I just focus on me, and this is no bother to me. Then
Fair.
I'm doing nothing. What else am I doing? I'm just sitting around the hotel, killing time. So it's my honour to come in here and talk and have a chat.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Has your life dramatically changed since the win in May?
Yeah, it's definitely changed, but do you know what? I'm quite a grounded person, so I don't really look too much into it. I'm a bit of a boring person as well. Just keep my head down and don't really do much or say much. So it has changed, but I've also made sure it hasn't changed too much. I like my little quiet life and just keeping my small little circle.
I mentioned, same arena, obviously same fight, same belts on the line. And so there's a lot of similarities, but I'm wondering, considering you already beat her and it wasn't that long ago, are you feeling like this is a bit of deja vu all over again for you? Or do you feel like a completely different fighter with different thoughts and different feelings because you've already been there, done that, and climbed that mountain successfully?
So two there because it is like deja vu. I'm singing to Katie's tune again. I'm over in Dublin. I'm putting my belts on the line. Whereas the rematch, I beat her the first time, so she could have put her belts on the line and drained me and got me down to 135, or we could have gone anywhere else in the world and had this rematch. But I'm singing to Katie's tune again, and I'm putting my belts on the line. I'm back in Dublin, but for me, my mindset is completely different. The May the 20th, that fighter, that version of me, I was quite like I was in awe of Katie Taylor, so it was kind of like finally getting this opportunity. I'm finally getting this fight, and I actually had an injury in that whole camp, but I knew that I had to take the fight there and then because if I hadn't, I'd never see that fight again. It was the first time Katie Taylor had ever mentioned my name, let alone called me out. So I jumped on it. I grabbed the opportunity with two hands, and I knew that I had to take that. And I was grateful for the opportunity as well. I was grateful that I was finally getting to face Katie Taylor because I believed I'd always beat her. My team believed I'd always beat her, and people close around me, you see how I train, my work ethic. They always knew that I was all wrong for Katie Taylor, and I proved it May the 20th. So this fight, I'm coming in there knowing that I've shown everyone that I can beat her, but this time a better version of myself.
How serious was that injury?
It was quite bad. I was meant to be on the Anthony Joshua undercard, but it's just crazy how things worked out because I think I was about 3 or 4 weeks in close to the fight, and I was sparring a lad called Lorraine for my gym, and I threw a jab, and I just heard it pop, and I've never had pain like it.
Oh, no.
And the next day, Katie Taylor called me out, and I was
Uh,
thinking, oh, like I rang my manager and said, council, I can't fight on the undercard anyway, I'm injured. So let's go for Katie Taylor, let's do it. And I went to the sports massage and he was like, you can't punch for 2 weeks. There's no way you can hit a pad, hit a bag, can't shadow box. I just had to rest my arm for 2 weeks. So it was kind of like, oh no, I just literally said that I boxed the best female boxer there is in a homecoming. But for 2 weeks, I'm not able to punch. So I was a bit like, oh, it wasn't the best preparation, but I did have a good camp.
wow. And where was the injury? You said it was in your arm?
Yeah, my tricep head.
Wow. All right. Well, we couldn't tell on the night because you boxed beautifully, I thought, and won that fight fair and square. You did mention in your previous answer you're singing to her tune again. Are you annoyed
Yeah.
that you won the first fight and you're back in Dublin defending your belts? Yes, you're the A side this time, but it's very much back on her home turf.
Yeah, like obviously I'm a little bit frustrated because like she's getting to roll the dice twice, which is fair enough. She's Katie Taylor. What she's done for women's boxing is amazing, and I'm appreciative of that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, what are you doing with your lightweight belts? You're not defended them for a year now, and why Dublin? Why have I had to come back to Dublin? And to be honest, I'm actually having a great week. The Irish have been amazing. At the media workout today, they were lovely and supportive of both of us. But at the same time, this isn't my country either. So I don't know why we couldn't have been in the UK or Middle East or America. It could have gone anywhere, but I had to come back to Dublin. And obviously, it's Katie Taylor's country, so it's all for Katie Taylor.
Did you consider putting your foot down? Did you consider saying no to this, or did you have no choice because she had the rematch clause?
Yeah, I had no choice. So I did say, like, well, do I get a rematch clause in this fight? Because it's okay coming back for the rematch, but what if I do get robbed? Like, what's going to happen for me then? Is everything just in Katie Taylor's favour so that she takes my belts and she's gonna get the fairy tale homecoming finally because I scored it the first time. But I'm not getting a rematch clause. There's no rematch clause in it, and I kind of just had to come over here and get the rematch on because the day it is a great fight anyway, and obviously it's a big opportunity again for me. And for me, it's just going to showcase everyone how good I really am. May the 20th, I don't think I boxed brilliant at all. I don't think that was my best performance by far. So now everyone's going to see there's no excuses. I'm going to go in there making sure I put on the best statement I possibly can.
Why aren't you getting a rematch clause in there?
Great question. I don't know.
I'm assuming you've asked that question, or your
I
management has
did
asked
when
that?
the fight, when I was going back and forward about coming back to Dublin, I said, like, well, can I put a rematch clause in there now? But yeah, it's not happening.
Okay. Um, and then I thought perhaps she would say, okay, this time we'll do it for my belts at 135 and see, how you fare at 135. Was that ever discussed, or was it always same
So
weight,
we
same
pushed
belts?
for that. So my team was pushing for 135. Even after the first fight, I said, right, I'll come down to 135 and I'll challenge you for your belts. So I made it loud and clear as soon as I beat her on May the 20th that, right, I'll come, if we have a rematch, let's put your belts on the line. And then when we was going back and forward about Dublin, I said, right, I'll come back to Dublin if the challenge is that we go at 135. But again, there was no movement in it. There was no budge.
Mm. Are you obviously you're very confident going into the fight, but like if you're able to take the Chantelle Cameron hat off and just be a sort of boxing pundit, if you will, are you surprised that she is going back to this well, considering there's so much at stake? She's sort of on the tail end of her career, and she wants that homecoming fight. Like, do you think that this is a massive mistake for her, as opposed to taking, a bit of a tune-up fight, a
Yeah.
massive, one of these fights that she's like a minus 2,000 favorite in the fight going. Like, are you surprised that she's going back this route, considering how the first fight went?
To be honest, I am because like for a first time coming, she could have picked an easy opponent, but I didn't. Maybe they didn't think I was that good. I don't know. Maybe they thought I was going to be an easy touch. But I think obviously taking the rematch with me straight away, I think she made a mistake again. I think it's another mistake.
Do you feel like she is feeling that pressure? Some have said if she loses, she might retire. I know she's kind of dismissed all of that, but that would be two losses in a row, and there's a lot of wear and tear. I mean, Olympics, amateur career, all that stuff. Do you feel like she is feeling that pressure?
I won't really want to say to be honest because um, with all due respect, I don't really care.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
think,
Fair enough.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't answer that because I'm just focused on me. Like, I've got a job to do, and Katie Taylor's standing in the way of my career moving on. And if I lose, then where do I go? So for me, it's kind of like pushing that aside. I really don't. I'm not bothered because I'm just so focused on what I've got to do and that what I've got to get through to make sure that my career, I get the nights that I want.
Could I ask? I know yesterday you guys had that face-off at City Hall.
Yeah.
Did you take anything away from interactions with her, her demeanor, etc.?
Just awkwardness, ain't it? We keep
Yeah.
staring at each other. Just
Yes.
awkward.
Not a lot of trash talk, just a lot of staring and awkwardness, right? We see the finished product.
Yeah, just,
I'm sure the whole thing was awkward.
yeah, it was quite awkward. Just keep walking up and staring at each other. Like, I like my personal space as well, so I was thinking, oh, a bit close.
Do you hate doing that stuff?
Yeah, I'm not really into the whole face-offs, the build-up, and I really don't like the press conferences.
Really? Why?
I'm just not really a big talker. I like fighting and everything else that comes with it. I just think, oh, I'd rather not do it, but I do it because it's part of the job.
Yeah. The more you do it, the more rich and famous you get, right? So it's kind of something that you have to deal with, unless you don't care about those things.
I don't really. I care about being rich. I want the money.
Sure, sure. I don't blame
I
you.
want to. I want to be comfortable when I retire. But being famous now, that doesn't bother me. I
Uh,
like being in the background.
could I ask, obviously Eddie Hearn has been promoting Katie for quite some time. He also promotes
Yeah,
you. Is that ever awkward that he's I was watching the open workouts, or actually, no, I saw an interview with him and Maisie Rose. She was asking him a question and she asked him for his
yeah,
prediction. And he's like, it's a bit awkward. I can't really make a prediction. I promote both. Is that ever
yeah,
awkward in your dealings that he's kind of in the middle? But he has this long-standing relationship with Katie as well.
yeah. Katie's his golden girl. So I know that, and it doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it's business, isn't it? That's his golden girl, and he's rooting for Katie to win. But at the end of the day, what I do is I come along and I upset people and I break hearts. So that's just what I'm doing.
I love it. You will be walking out second this time. Um,
Yeah,
some might have said that you should have walked out second the first time around because you were the champion. But of course, now that
yeah.
you've won the first fight, you get to walk out second. I saw a video where you said that you thought that she was maybe, as you would say in England, taking the piss by taking so long to come out. Will you return the favor on Saturday? Will you take an extra long time to come out?
Absolutely not. No, I'd rather just get myself in the ring than standing on that platform with everyone staring at you and probably booing me and stuff. I think I was going to go straight to the ring and get down to business. I'm not going to be messing about.
Okay, fair enough. Have you watched the first fight a lot?
I've had to go over tactics and sitting down with my coach and seeing what went right, what went wrong, and how we're going to change it a little bit and adapt.
What went right in your opinion?
Um, Obviously I got the win, so
Yeah.
something must have gone right. But it was a lot of scrappy rounds. She comes in with her head a lot, and I was there, so I was letting her catch me with her head a lot. I've got to make sure I don't let it happen this time because obviously I don't want to be coming out marked up again with lumps all over my head from headbutts. So making sure that my head's not there to be meeting hers, and I just need to like calm down a little bit. Before it was a bit erratic. I was just because she burgles rounds. I was just throwing punches where I want to be spiteful. I want to sit down and I want to make my punches count. But I know that she burgles rounds, and I knew that I couldn't leave it to the judges to be swaying towards her. So because I was going to sway towards Katie anyway because of Katie Taylor, the name, being the homecoming. She's such a star. So it was kind of like everything just felt erratic and rushed. Where I need to slow my mind down and let my hands do the business and make sure that every punch counts.
That was by far the biggest fight of your career, certainly the biggest stage that you have fought on. Did you feel the nerves beforehand?
Yeah, I was absolutely bricking it.
Okay.
I remember I was thinking, oh, I could easily just go home now.
Really? In the locker room?
Yeah, I was just thinking, oh, why am I doing this? Get me the next flight home.
Oh my gosh. Do you think you'll feel the same on Saturday?
I feel it every single fight. It doesn't matter. When I was an amateur, when I was a kickboxer, I always get nervous before a fight.
So why do you do this if it brings you such anxiety? Why do you do it?
I'm a bit of a weirdo and I must get off on it.
Okay. Do you actually enjoy the fights themselves?
I love fighting. That is why I do it because I love fighting. But the nerves and that, I wish I didn't have them, but I do. But then again, when I flip it, it plays into my favor because I know them nerves are good for me. It fuels me, and when I'm nervous, it means I'm ready. So I flip it, and I know that I got to embrace the moment, take them nerves, and turn it into good energy where it's going to fire me up.
Have the nerves subsided over the years, or do they only get more pronounced because the stakes are getting bigger?
No, they're always the same.
Okay, wow. And perhaps this time around, because like I said, you've climbed the mountain, maybe there'll be less nerves this time? What do you think?
No, always the
Same.
same.
Okay.
But
All right.
it's again, it's cool, calm, and collected. I know I know how I'm gonna feel. I know how to deal with it, and I know how to execute my game plan. So it doesn't phase me.
There was a lot of talk that she, quote unquote, started slow in the first fight. Do you agree with that assessment, or is that taking something away from you? Are you the reason why she started slow?
I think I'm the reason. I think I started. I was straight there, and I think she like felt my presence.
Okay. And are you expecting something dramatically different from her this time around?
I think she'll try to start fast, but I'm gonna meet her in the middle.
Okay. This is getting me very excited, by the way. I wish I was there. Just your intensity kind of comes through the screen. What is your goal? If all goes according to plan for you, you win the rematch. What is the dream scenario for you next?
So I'm just gonna focus on
Okay.
getting that win on Saturday,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
making sure that I beat Katie Taylor again, and then see what doors open for me. But for me, it's pretty focused on Saturday. If I start thinking about what's next, it's distracting and it's kind of disrespectful to Katie Taylor as well because she's a fantastic boxer, and I want to make sure that I'm fully focused, fully zoned in, and I've got to get that win.
Fair enough. By the way, 135 at this stage in your career and life, is that doable?
It was doable if the belts are on the line.
Okay, fair enough. All right. By the way, would it be Wolverhampton Stadium? Is that the one? Is that the spot?
No, Northampton.
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 Oh, geez, I
Yeah.
screwed it up. What's the big stadium or arena over there?
Franklin Gardens,
Okay, is that a football stadium?
Rugby Stadium.
Rugby stadium. Okay, that perhaps would be the dream at some point.
Yeah.
Okay,
At some point.
at some point. And would it be a feather in your cap? Is this something that you care about to be the one to retire, Katie Taylor? Do you think about that sort of thing?
No, I just think about winning at all costs.
Okay.
And one thing I'm good at is adapting. So whatever Katie Taylor brings, I'm so good at adapting. I'm just going to meet her and make sure that I'm just all round better in every department.
Well, I cannot wait for it. I wish you the best. Thank you so much for doing
Thank you.
this. The first fight was brilliant. It was absolutely incredible to watch, and your performance was fantastic, magnificent. So I wish you nothing but the best on Saturday. Looking forward to it, and thanks for giving us some time today.
Thanks for talking to me as well.
All right, take care. There she is, the undisputed champion at 140 pounds, the great Chantelle Cameron. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.